everyone and welcome back. Today I was tagged by Taylor over at BeautyinBooks to do the Disney tag, and this tag was originally created by Kat over at Katytastic, so if you want to see either of their channels or the original video, you can check those out down below. And I'm just gonna get started because this is kind of a long tag. So let's grab my computer because that's kind of wordy in the questions. So number one is The Little Mermaid, a character who is a fish out of water. And for that I chose Clary from the Mortal Instruments series, just because at the beginning she definitely is a fish out of water when she's going into the Institute and learning about her past. Number two is Cinderella, a character who goes through a huge transformation. And I think this could be a lot of characters, but for the purpose of this, I'm going to say a more contemporary book and say Kath from Fangirl. She goes from being pretty insecure in like her own like personal decisions outside of online to being someone who is comfortable with herself and her own decisions. So Kath. Number three is Snow White, a book with a cast of eclectic characters. And I definitely just thought of Sarah J. Maas because her books always have amazing characters and an amazing group of them. And so for this I chose A Court of Thorns and Roses, just because I love them all dearly in that book. Number four is Sleeping Beauty, a book that put you to sleep. And honestly, that book for me is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And I had to read it for a class, and every night when I would try and read it, I would honestly fall asleep with it and it would smack me in the face and wake me back up. I know it's a classic, but I had a hard time moving through that one, guys. Then number five is Lion King, a character who had something traumatic happen to them in their childhood. And for this, I'm gonna say Harry Potter. I mean, his trauma from his past sort of follows him and is the catalyst for everything that happens in that book, so he is the perfect person for this answer. Number six is Beauty and the Beast, a beast of a book, you know, size-wise, a big book that intimidated you at first, but you found the story to be beautiful. And I'm gonna go back to Harry Potter because those books are huge, and I was intimidated by them at first, and I loved, like, The Deathly Hallows is the biggest one, and I adore that book, so yeah, Harry Potter again, because I am not original at this point. Number seven has been a little bit challenging for me to think of, but it is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or for worse. And you know, it took me a really long time to think about this, but I'm gonna go with Jonas from The Giver. And he wished and dreamed that people would be able to like have feelings and see color again, and for better or for worse, you can interpret the ending however you want, whether he lives, whether he dies, but his sacrifice sort of makes that wish come true. So I don't know if it's a wish being granted per se, but I'm going to count it because I literally could not think of anything else. I'll probably feel dumb when I think about something later, but for now that's it. Next we have Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something that they are not. And who is better to be this person than Selena Sardothien from the Throne of Glass books? She pretends to be a completely different person, pretends to be a profession that she was not born into. She is the ultimate assassin, spy, person. So she is the perfect Mulan character in this case. Number nine is Toy Story, a book that you wish the characters would come to life, and honestly for me that is most books I wish the characters would come to life, but for the sake of this I'm going to say the characters from Anna and the French Kiss or Lola and the Boy Next Door. Anything in that series, I think they're all like really realistic people and people that I'd want to be friends with. And so that would be really interesting to see them come to life, and I love all of their personalities as well. And then number 10 is your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. And you know, if I'm going Disney, I would say Maleficent just because I liked the Maleficent movie a lot. But if I'm going off of books, I'm gonna say Voldemort because, you know, Voldemort is the baddest of the bad. And he was the baddie that we all grew up with, and I think he's the baddest bad that there is. So he's my favorite villain just because he parallels all of the good in like Harry and Harry Potter so well. So yes, and he's complex. So Voldemort, he has a great backstory. Voldemort, Voldemort. So that wraps up the tag. As far as tagging people goes, I'm gonna tag like 3 of you, and then if you think this sounds fun, you can do it on your own as well. So I'm going to tag Clarisse Reads, Leah Kate Wright, and Read by Amanda. And if I have not tagged you, you can totally do it. I tag you now, even if I didn't name you. As always, thank you for stopping by my little book nook of the internet, and I will see you all next time. Bye.